This is Francesco Abbruzzino with another live and unedited rogue rant. What am I ranting about today? Government manipulation of markets. In the age of quantitative easing and overt government intervention in the economy, it is impossible, folks, to trust any of the economic statistics that are being shown as indicators for the supposed health of the economy. I don't care whether it's GDP numbers, manufacturing data, inflation statistics, or housing figures. All this macroeconomic data that drives the financial news agenda are manipulated to suit the propagandistic purposes of the government and the central bankers. Let's just think about it for a minute, folks. Just look at inflation, where the government is relying on their manipulated, hand-picked numbers to tell us there's no inflation. I challenge you then to go shopping and tell me that the prices are the same as just a few months ago. They're crazy. There is inflation, folks. The striking case in point presented itself last year when Ben Bernanke and the private, not public, Federal Reserve announced that they are trying the latest round of quantitative easing. They're tying it not to a set period of time or set amount of funds, but to an unemployment rate target. The move quite baffled or puzzled me and many analysts at the time, as the unemployment rate has never been within the mandate of the private Federal Reserve. In fact, the privately owned central bank doesn't even possess a direct mechanism for influencing this number. As flagrant as the manipulation in unemployment statistics has been, perhaps even more brazen in recent years, has been the manipulation of stock and equity markets. Economic commentators are pointing to all-time record highs in the Dow and other major stock indices as a sure sign of economic recovery, and we should all be feeling good about ourselves. And in the mainstream media talking heads, they are reporting the moves in these markets with all the breathless hyperbole of excited children. What many who are living through the age of jobless recovery know all too well, though, is that these markets too are hopelessly manipulated, and that the trading taking place in these markets is subject to the same parlor tricks that define the unemployment and inflation statistics. What many may be surprised to learn, though, is that government manipulation of these markets is on record, and they're openly admitting to it. They're talking about it. Just in all other areas of life, it is a truism, folks, a truism that things which are suppressed in one place tend to rise to the surface unexpectedly elsewhere. Such is the case with this market manipulation. Although it is relatively easy for the federal government and institutional investors to send prices up or down through relatively straightforward manipulation, it is more difficult to prevent those interventions from becoming visible in other parts of the economy. Just look at gold, folks. Given that gold has been able to break through 2,000 an ounce level, we are left with two options. Either the economy is truly growing and thriving as the government says it is, or these markets are being manipulated. Sadly, I fear that the latter is true in this case. The picture that's being painted here is one of fraud within a Ponzi scheme market. In fact, we have the sense of fraud so large that it would be impossible to do without the active collusion of the government regulators themselves. This leaves the average working man or woman, the common folk, in seemingly intractable problem. They have been told that their lives to entrust their savings to financial experts, believing that a healthy portfolio of stocks and bonds will protect them, even grow their wealth so that they will have a nice nest egg for their retirement. As the economic house of cards begins to topple, however, people will find themselves in the same position as the Romans did under Diocletian, or the French of the Revolution, or the Germans in the Weimar Republic, or how about the Argentinians under the collapsing peso, having their entire life savings wiped out seemingly overnight. It will not be a pretty picture, folks. The only real protection from this, of course, is to withdraw our investments from the system that is perpetuating this fraud, from the stocks and bonds and traditional reserves of the fraudulent market. Instead, people around the world are beginning to learn the importance of investing in land and other physical assets. But perhaps more importantly, is the need to invest in their local communities, in alternative currencies, in co-ops, and other institutions that have nothing to do with the actions of those fat cats on Wall Street or the political puppets up in DC. And until the realization happens on a mass level, people will continue to operate in good faith in the reality of this economic wonderland, never understanding the systematic collapse that is awaiting them down the road. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with another live and unedited Rogue Rant. Have a great day.